Good morning from the crazy, chaotic city that is Hanoi. It's my second full day today. It was a late finish last night, so it's a late start today. So the first thing I need to do is grab some coffee. I appear to be walking in the middle of the roads. Now this coffee shop that I'm going to is quite unusual because it's very hard to find. There's no signs for it on the street or anything. You have to walk through a tailor shop or something to get to it. But they do good coffee, apparently. Egg coffee, I think. So let's start the day with a lovely egg coffee. In fact, this is it. That was quite easy to find. I'm okay, mate. Thank you. I'm sure there wasn't a sign last time. Unbelievable. So this coffee is tucked at the back of a tailor's, and then you come right to the back of the courtyard, and then there's some stairs. I think this is how you get up to it. Yeah, up here. From the street you would have no idea that this is up here. There is a sign. I don't think there used to be a sign, but there is a sign now. But yeah, if you were just walking down the street looking for coffee, you wouldn't think to come up here. I think this is the right way. Not sure if I order here or not. Nice view of the lake. Just look how thick this is. There used to be either a cat or a dog in here. There's a big old fat thing. I've not seen it this time, so maybe it's passed away. Anyway, that was the egg coffee in the Lakeview Cafe, or Cafe Foco, or whatever it's called. The egg coffee wasn't quite as nice as the one that I had yesterday, but they are the originals, so they've had 80 years to perfect their recipe. I'm okay, mate, cheers. Local Grab driver wanting to give me a ride, or get me a woman, or give me some drugs. They have many talents, the local Grab drivers. I'm guessing that this is going to be happening maybe tonight. I mean, it all looks like it's ready to go. I wouldn't have thought it was for the Tet, because that's still a couple of weeks away. So I'll have to come down here tonight and see what's going on. I think tonight this place will be filled with street entertainers. I thought it might have been last night, but looks like it'll be Saturday and Sunday. Right, let's have a walk around the old lake. This is the Hoan Kiem, and just over here there's a bridge which leads you to a temple in the middle. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to walk around the whole thing and then head to Mama's Banh Mi, and then go to the military museum that I tried to visit yesterday, and maybe another museum. I'm going to do a lot of walking today. Let's hope it doesn't rain. Well, I'm going to actually go into the Ngok temple, because I don't think I ever went in before. Been 3 times in Hanoi, never been to this place, so I'm not expecting much, but it's only small. Just over there in the middle of the lake, I'm not sure where you pick it up on the GoPro. I think that's called Turtle Tower. I don't know anything about that, so hopefully there'll be some information about that in this temple. Oh, here's the main entrance then. This lake used to be home to what's known as Sword Lake turtles, and apparently there are only 6 left in the world. I've just read that, and I don't know how long that sign is, so maybe they're all gone now. But the 2 snow lake turtles that lived here are inside this room. One died in 1967, the other died in 2016. So there are none left, but they've been preserved. This is the one that died in 1967. This is the one that died in 2016. It was a nice enough temple, I suppose. I mean, it's no better or worse than the numerous temples that you can visit for free around the city, but I suppose it is on the lake, and you do get to see the two turtles, the sword lake turtles. This whole road down next to the lake has become pedestrianised, so the little kids are taking over in these little cars and bikes and bloody all sorts. There's just hundreds of them lining the streets. So little kids have got a right choice. Got fire engines, little bikes, police cars. Chief of police here. This is probably the best view we're going to get of the Turtle Tower. Looks like I got here just in time because there's a right bloody queue now, and it took me about 10 minutes to get served, and I was right at the front. Popular place. I mean, it is lunchtime. Now I just need to find somewhere nice to sit and eat it. And there's some lovely benches just over here. Perfect. Well, yesterday's banh mi was nice because it was the first banh mi I'd had in Vietnam. But this one is just on another level. It's absolutely amazing. The meat's much better, and you even get sausage stuffed in there. Pork sausage. It's absolutely fantastic. There's some chili sauce on there. It's not too spicy. It's just absolutely delicious. And yeah, 30, so a pound. There's even a bloody omelette as well. My belly is now full with that wonderful banh mi. I've had a beautiful fresh fruit juice. So I'm all alive, and now I'm back at the military museum, which I tried to get to yesterday, but it was closed. And it should be open now, because it's, what time is it? 10 to 2, and it reopened from 1 o'clock after they closed for lunch, just on my right hand side coming up. So let's go and have a look at some military stuff. Well, the first thing we see when we enter the military museum is this aircraft that was manufactured by the Soviet Union, who of course helped Vietnam in their resistance against the US. This one particular plane shot down 14 fighters of America between April and December 1967. And this was manufactured by the Americans and used by the French in 1952. Just look at Vietnam's history. The wars in Vietnam since 214 BC, and pretty much constant until the war against the Americans. This is a very communist sculpture. Ho Chi Minh there. Soldiers, people listening to the words of Ho Chi Minh. It's like fighters throughout the ages. And here we have a good view of the Hanoi Tower. This was built in 1812 as an observation post to the Hanoi Citadel, which I do believe runs just down there. We may go to that today. And it wasn't destroyed by the French during the invasion in the late 19th century. Some examples here of the solidarity shown around the world during the US invasion of Vietnam. This one quotes Bob Dylan's song. The actual museum is really well laid out, and there's tons of information and artefacts. Almost too much, to be honest. It's really, really factual in terms of numbers and dates. It's a lot to take in. And this is probably my favourite part. This is like kind of the world's response to what was going on in Vietnam. Badges made by the Japanese and Americans. Slogans, hats. It's a newspaper from Uruguay. This woman here, Hoan Kiem, set herself on fire to protest the war. Here we have all the support from across Europe. Got the Albanian people meeting to support Vietnam against the American aggressors. This is interesting. Each Polish citizen gave 250 millilitres of blood to the Vietnamese people. And here, medicine, contributed by more than 120 Polish chemist shops. But gosh, Bulgaria, Warsaw, and Hungary have protests in London, Sweden, Austria, Germany, France, Denmark, the Netherlands. Here we see some of the traps that were used. This one, if you open the door, this came down on your head. This is quite interesting. This looks like something that all the American soldiers would carry with them, and it has this message in various languages, basically saying, I'm a citizen of the US of A, I do not speak your language. Misfortune forces me to seek your assistance in obtaining food, shelter and protection. Please take me to someone who will provide for my safety and see that I am returned to my people. My government will reward you. That's Soviet torpedo launchers that were used by the Vietnamese in 1964. So we have tanks here, we have missiles, we have torpedoes, we have mines, all of it produced in the Soviet Union. We also have American tanks that were seized by the Vietnamese. This one here was manufactured in the US using the Vietnam War and seized by the Liberation Army of South Vietnam in 1971. Another one made in the Soviet Union, this one made in the Soviet Union. The US helicopter. And here we have the F-5E aircraft. This here is a bust of the heroic Vietnamese mother, Nguyen Thi Thu. Was born in 1904 and died in 2010. And she had 9 sons, and they were all sacrificed in 2 resistance wars, first against the French and then the Americans. This is a model of the Ho Chi tunnels, which I have actually been in, near Ho Chi Minh. It's around 200 kilometres of tunnels underground, and I've actually been in the tunnels, and it's really claustrophobic in there, and they've actually widened the tunnels so that tourists can go in. So just here is a model made up of the wreckages of the various aircraft, both French and American, that were shot down by the Vietnamese. That's it for the museum then. So I guess all there is to do in here is to go and explore this thing. I was going to head to the Museum of Ethnology next, but I'm about an hour and 3 minutes walk away. I thought I was going to be about 20 minutes away, because from my hostel it's only 40 minutes and it's in the same direction, so that doesn't really make much sense. But anyway, I'm not going to do that today, I'll leave that one tomorrow. So today I'm going to go to the central sector of the Imperial Citadel of Thang, Hanoi. I've just read the sign. Parts of the citadel were built between the 7th and 9th century, when this area was ruled by the Chinese. It was used as the Vietnamese headquarters during the war. So these are the steps that will lead us to the 2nd floor. See, they're still doing excavation work. There's so many Vietnamese people who come here to have photos taken in traditional Vietnamese dress, so you're constantly having to stop for them to take a photo. They look amazing. This was actually from the 11th century, which is remarkable. It's in incredible condition. What name is this? This is the bunker, the General Command Headquarters. Wow, bloody hell. We're just going to have the military bunker, and there's this gallery of images of Hanoi after it was more or less destroyed by the American 12-day attack by the B-52s. How communist is that? This is something called the Na D67, which I'm not exactly sure what it is. I think it's some kind of bunker. Oh, some information here. Oh, this was built in 1967 at the height of the American War. So this room hosted many secret meetings with the Central Military Commission, where a lot of the policies and commands for the campaigns from 1968 to 75 were decided. And here we have the names of all the people that attended these meetings. This is the bunker. This is much deeper than the other one. During the 12-day strike in 1972, this is where all the generals would be based, working night and day, 9 metres underground. You think about the important decisions that were made in that bunker that had such an impact on the future of Vietnam as a country. This is the GAZ-69, and from 1954 to 1972 its production was handed over to the Russian company, and this kind of car was chosen as a specialised vehicle for the travels of the Vietnamese high-ranking leaders when they had meetings in this house. But this one was again a Russian-made car, and this was made to replace the old GAZ-69. And this car could run on all terrain. Let's have a look inside. Right, this is possibly the last thing that we're going to see. It's the Princess's Pagoda. Well, we just came to the exit, but then we come into another one. I don't know if you have to pay again for this or not. Hey, is it the same one? Oh, this way, yeah, thank you. Well, this is all very strange. I just walked in and out of the building twice. I'm not exactly sure what this is. Okay, so it's an archaeological site, and it was discovered in 2002. Well, this is where you want to come if you want to look at different pieces of stone. We have stone bricks and roof tiles from all different eras. This is the archaeological site then, I guess, that they unearthed in 2002. You can see it's a huge site. Let's have a look. Oh, we've got water wells as well. So this would have been a palace dating from the 11th century, and it was only discovered 20 years ago. We've got evidence of the water drainage system, the sewers. That's it for the Citadel then, and that's it for my exploring for the day. So the next time you see me will be night time in Hanoi again, so I'll see you there. And just like that, we're back in the streets of Hanoi and it's night time. Nifty little bit of editing that, wasn't it? Right, tonight I'm going to walk back down to the lake, where I think there might actually be some street performances. I thought it might be going on last night, but it wasn't. But it's Saturday now, so it's certainly the weekend. So let's go and check out what's going on the wonderful streets of Hanoi. I absolutely love this city. When I first came here, I was here for 5 nights, and then I went off and travelled around the rest of Vietnam, then around more countries in Southeast Asia, and then came back to Hanoi for 2 weeks and basically just lived as a local. Got an Airbnb went shopping in the local markets, cooked for myself. And yeah, it's such a great city to just relax in and chill out. You might think that's a bit odd with it being so busy and hectic, but it's just alive. It's just got such an amazing vibe to the place. So anyway, enough of my rambling. Let's go and check out some street performers of Hanoi, hopefully. I was told that the live music on this stage is happening tomorrow night, but there's something happening now. And it looks like there's a big crowd as well, so maybe we won't see any street performers. We've got people dancing to dubstep on the stage. Well, there's no performers. It's quite lively. It's a shame there's no performers, because there were some really good ones here last time. Live music here, look at this. Well, I've just been walking around and not really doing well on the food hunt, to be honest. Everywhere's either too busy or selling things that I've already eaten, so I've just got some street food. I've basically got a cup of pork. Now, I've had, obviously, a lot of moo pink in Thailand. I'm not sure whether I've had the Vietnamese pork skewers. So let's give that a go. 15 each, so 2 for £1. But they are quite big. It's a big thumbs up. They're bloody lovely. Should have got 4. It looks like some kind of special feast going on over here. There's so much food. Well, it's Bar Street on Saturday night, and as you can see, it's pretty busy. Oh the hell. I'm going to move away from the busy spot, head to the Spy Bar, and maybe pick up a kebab on the way. We ever get there? So I'll start thinning out a little bit once we get past all the bars. And just on the right hand side, before I get to a Spy Bar, there's a little kind of doner kebab and Banh Mi stand. And I went there last time. I was walking past and some guy basically said it was the best kebab he'd ever had. He was pretty drunk. And so I had one, and to be honest, it was pretty damn good. So I'm hoping that it's still open. I've gone to Google Maps, it shuts at 11, and it's about 10:30 now, so let's go and buy a kebab. There we go then, the doner kebab, 40,000 dong, so about £1.30. It looks like it could be a messy sandwich, this. Well, they've not gone down and in quarter. That was an absolutely wonderful kebab. I'm now heading to what pretty much is my favourite bar in Hanoi, the Spy Bar. It's just a little bit away from Bar Street, so it's a completely different atmosphere. It's just around the corner here, opposite the old mosaic wall that we visited a couple of days ago, or was it yesterday? Yesterday. There we are. Thank you.